Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday. In fact, it's the last Tuesday of the first month of a new year. So hopefully you're doing well with all the choices you're making about change that you may want to address. For many, though, you may find yourself in a season of transition. And I talk a lot about that, as you well know. But I want to talk today, something I've been pondering and thinking about, some of the common pitfalls that await us in transitional seasons. I don't hear many people talk about these, so I thought I would just share three of them with you today, and you can remember these three with the simple acronym ICE. Here's the first one, isolation. Yes, isolation is a killer in transition, but it's very easy for us to engage in it. We can feel that others maybe don't understand what we're going through. Maybe we think that all they'll do is have pity on us. That's not a very appealing invitation. But we can find ourselves with extra time in our head, basically for prolonged periods of time, which becomes unhealthy and unproductive. Isolation leads us to some unrealistic perspectives because our brain fills in the blanks because we're just sitting there talking to ourselves internally. And we can come up with a lot of wrong conclusions, and our attitude is going to be affected by that as well. The cure for this is that you have to make a decision to become intentional. Maybe you find yourself in a different season where you're not running into people as frequently as you used to. Be intentional. Be proactive. Don't wait for someone else to call or text or reach out to you on social media. Be proactive. Call them, text them, reach out to them. Go grab a coffee or a lunch. Engage in some conversation. Maybe even ask them for their perspective on what you're going through. Be careful who you choose to do that with, but you need to have some folks in your life that you know will tell you the truth. Reach out to them. It's important so that you don't become trapped in an isolated mode, and you can actually do something else. You can actually ask them for help. Yeah, and you'll find that most people are wanting to help. They just may not know that we need it until we ask. Here's the second one, comparison. Yeah, now we're guilty of this in many seasons, but in transition, it can be really, really damaging to us. Comparison is when we look at someone else's season and we compare ourselves to them and see how we're doing. This rarely leads us to any healthy place. You see, the danger in comparison is that it either gives us an inflated view of how well we might be doing, or it's going to discourage us and we think that we're not doing as well as someone else. It's important for us to understand that just as two people are different, so are any two seasons of transition. The circumstances might be different. The issues might be different. The solutions will probably be some level of difference. So what do we do? Well, rather than comparing ourselves to others, it's important that we choose to walk our own path, that we understand that our issues may be different. So let's address our issues, not someone else's issues. Let's address our things that are coming up, and let's deal with those. Let's plot a course forward that relates to us. Let's find our solutions. Now, we can learn from other people's experiences, but let's not compare ourselves. That is a setup for a problem. It's a huge pitfall in transitional season. Here's the third one, excuses. Yeah, that's a killer. Excuses. You know, there are always reasons why we are finding ourselves in a transitional time. We're not negating the fact that there are reasons, and the actions, choices of others may be the reason we're here, but the reality is, regardless of the role other people may have played in our being in our present season, we're the ones in the season. So we might need to address any heart or head issues that are resulting from the fact that somebody else played a role in us getting here. But when we allow the reasons for our being here to excuse ourselves from taking responsibility for where we are now and where we need to get to, that's a problem. In fact, you've landed squarely in the excuse trap. To be sure, there are reasons, but when we allow those reasons to dismiss our responsibility for moving forward, we're right in the middle of the old excuse trap. And it is easy to fall prey to it. So it's important that you recognize that it's your responsibility to get well and to move forward. Deal with whatever issues. Take the time. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore how you're processing. Do that. But don't allow it to become an excuse for you taking necessary steps for moving forward. This is how you become a victim in life, and it's always someone else's fault that we aren't making progress. Well, there you have 3 common pitfalls in transition that I've been thinking about. Isolation, comparison, and excuses. Don't let these 3 things ice you out of a productive season. Sorry for the pun. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about today.